So I was an intern. I started in June of 2019 and I was based in Cusco, specifically with the PicaFlor House program. The Cusco project, PicaFlor House, had been around for a few years. Essentially, it serves as an after-school program. So the village where it's based, Oropesa, is quite well known for its bread, and so the kids were in school until lunchtime and then just had nowhere to go. So Oropesa was identified as an area where there was certainly a need for a safe space in which young kids could hang out after school until their parents were finished work. Did a few different things, but my main project while I was there was kind of expanding the child protection policy, specifically with regards to taking the existing child protection policy that we had and adapting it so that we were teaching the children to keep themselves safe. So that was 3 months I was an intern for. With Globalteer specifically, I was really interested in their responsible volunteering program. They had a lot of research on sort of how to volunteer responsibly, but I was very impressed with Globalteer's policy with regards to ensuring that the volunteers are doing good and aren't harming the communities in which they work in. That was really important to me. We began by interviewing the children themselves. So I did a lot of research into how we develop these kind of child-focused safety programs, and a lot of them said that programs that are about children and for children should be designed with children. So we started by interviewing the kids and just talking about asking some really basic questions on when do you feel safe. And one thing we learned was that the family unit is very, very important. Specifically in these rural communities. So when I asked when do they feel the safest, it was always when they were together with their whole family. And when did you feel the most unsafe? It was when they got separated from their family or one of their siblings got separated from their family. So the first module was on confidence and how do we build our children up, and also looking at specific ways to compliment them that obviously aren't about the way that they look, because that can be problematic. And then we did a module on one thing that was very specific to the Peru project, was road safety. We did a road safety module because Oropesa, where PicaFlor House is a main road, runs through the very middle of it, and very, very fast cars, and there are very little kids that walk across it by themselves. So the road safety module was specific to the area and was just about teaching children how to cross the road. But also how to choose more efficient routes. So that is one of these things that we can actually teach children as young as kindergarten. On an internship level, being in the office was a really cool experience for me, working under Jim specifically. Jim is a very hands-off kind of manager, and so I was a little bit daunted by it when he first suggested that I do this project. Kind of left it in my hands and we do whatever you want, which was incredibly unnerving at the beginning. But this belief, he had this complete belief in my ability to do it, and I kind of just worked on it at my own speed and ended up creating something really cool and really valuable that a few other NGOs are using now. Originally, I wrote the child safety module with the intention of it just being used for PicaFlor House. So I surveyed those children and it was written with them in mind. And then it became clear that Jim saw some potential in the program that I was writing and wanted to be able to pass that on to the other Globalteer child-focused NGOs. So this program, the child safety module, has now been passed on to Cambodia. Globalteer has a similar project in Cambodia to PicaFlor House, where they've kind of set up this after-school program that's created primarily as a safe space for young children. And what I really like about the Cambodia program is that they have taken the PicaFlor House program and they've adapted it to be more specific to what they need. PicaFlor House was the coolest place. It was so positive. It's just such a positive environment to be around. The kids loved being there. The teachers loved what they did. They loved teaching. They loved being a part of it. all of the volunteers and the interns that all worked out there, we all loved being a part of it. And it was one of those projects where it's such a small thing, but we all knew that it was making such a big difference, that just by creating a safe space where we can hang out with these kids and we can feed them, that was going to make a huge difference to their lives. And I think that was really meaningful for me, realizing that so much good can be done in these kind of small little moments, just over lunch and as we're brushing our teeth and that kind of thing.